Hello, girls, guys, or otherwise. This is Rich with your Table Talk Thursday. I have our Table Topics Cube. If you would like to get one similar to this, go ahead and hit up the description box down below. Um, while you're down there, if you would like to become a patron on Patreon, the link is provided down below. You can become a patron for as little as $5 a month, and that is going towards starting our Christo-Pagan church here on YouTube. I do want to give a shout out and a thanks to Sophia, Linda, and Tyler. And yeah, if you cannot be a patron, go ahead and you still want to support me, but you want to get something for your money, hit up the eBay store down below. It's always much appreciated. I'm trying to get that to be a sole source of income for the household, so any little bit is much appreciated. If you don't like the prices, hit me up. Yeah, not even joking. I give discounts, massive discounts sometimes. Anyway, um, and if you don't want to spend any money, period, but you still want to support this channel, hit that subscribe button. If you've already done that, hit that bell notification so you get notified whenever new videos come out. Hit that like button if you've done both of those things, because that appeases the algorithmic gods of YouTube. All hail the algorithmic gods of YouTube. If you've done all of those things, make a comment. That also helps the algorithms of YouTube. If you've even done that, share this video. If you've done all that, you're a stellar human being, and let's get into today's topic. So, today's topic is it right to kill someone who committed murder? I had the conversation the other day about capital punishment. This was maybe about a week ago. Excuse me while I have a drink here. Not sponsored by Mountain Dew. Pepsi, if you want me to hawk your shit, let me know. I will take on sponsors. Anyway, I had the conversation about a week ago about capital punishment and whatnot. This is a very difficult subject because there is so much nuance. As a general rule, I would say no, it's not right to kill someone who committed a murder. You take them off the street, you put them in jail, they can rot there. There is a certain amount of, if they are individuals who are absolutely, completely guilty, and it is proven beyond a shadow of a doubt, and like such as it's caught on tape. Somebody shoots somebody else. Let's just say the president shoots, the former president shoots somebody on Fifth Avenue. Yeah, it's going to be pretty easily noticed. And for that, yes, there could possibly be an argument for capital punishment. Y'all know the reference I'm making. Yeah, guy's an idiot. Anyway, whenever it is caught on tape and the person shows zero remorse, and there is no doubt whether or not he, she, they are actually guilty, then possibly would be my answer. Possibly it is possibly okay to kill them or via execution. However, to have a blanket statement of, hey, you were guilty by a jury of your peers, you're still pleading innocent, and whatnot, I don't necessarily agree that the death penalty should be on the table. And my reasoning is because of how many individuals who are later found innocent that were put to death. There's many problems with our justice system, and I'm not going to pretend there's not. I have a piece of fur. Sorry. Piece of dog fur in my mouth. Anyway, I'm not going to pretend there's not massive holes in our justice system. And I think there needs to be more attention brought to that. Um, and until we have that fixed, or as fixed as possible, I don't think the death penalty should necessarily be on the table as a possibility. There are situations where, such as, good example, you have somebody like Marilyn Manson, right? No, Charles Manson. I'm sorry, not Marilyn Manson, Charles Manson. Wow. You have somebody like Charles Manson who, completely confesses to everything, has no remorse, never had a shred of remorse for what he perpetrated, and lived out his life behind bars. Has also been probably, I think last time I looked, before his death, was the most written to uh, inmate like ever in the United States. And oddly enough, fan mail, which is disturbing on so many levels. Yeah, somebody like that should not be able to have a correspondence with other individuals. They should be taken out of the equation entirely. And to say that, I know has a lot of that there is going to be a lot of nuance, and it has to do with a case to case basis. You can't paint with a broad brush on this, because the second that you do, you end up killing somebody that is innocent. It's a very touchy subject. It's very difficult to articulate exactly in what instances would designate that somebody needs to be put to death. And I don't know if I'm the one to. I don't know if I'm the one to answer that. I know that if it were a ballot question and I'm answering on a ballot, I would say no to the death penalty. It actually costs more to execute somebody than it does to feed them for the rest of their life and provide room and board. The thing that really gets me is how many individuals 20, 30 years after they were convicted that they spent behind bars were then found innocent of all charges. And then you've taken away a vast majority of their life. What was it? The West Memphis 3. I think, didn't they spend and I looked it up whenever we were talking about it the other day, but I'm not going to look it up right now. I want to say, and going just from memory, is like 20 or 25 years that they spent behind bars for a crime they never committed. I believe it was done in the 90s, and they got out in, I think it was 2011. So, yeah, I think it was 2011. Maybe it was after that. But anyway, maybe it was late 80s, because I remember it was like 20 years. Maybe it was 91 and they got out in 2011. I don't know. Anyway, I think it was 20 years that they spent behind bars. They were teenagers. The majority of their life, they have not seen the outside of a jail. The formative years of their life, of when they would, have relationships, being in a relationship, possibly getting married and having, starting a family, was taken from them. The time that they would have gone to college to get, a higher education and become, whoever they were going to be in the workforce and whatnot, was taken from them, stolen from them for 20 years. They have lived 20 or more years. They have lived behind bars. They and any of y'all who are, in your 30s, mid 30s, late 30s, know that starting out again may not be exactly the easiest thing. Um, yeah, I started in the military whenever I was 19. If I had to get out of the military and then start over, yeah, like it was totally cut off to me. Yeah, and then start at a new job at the very low rung, it's not easy. And I've been there, I've gone from active duty to reserve, and it's not exactly the easiest transition. I cannot even imagine what it's like to have been in a lifestyle for 20 or so years where you have had dictated when you're eating, when you're sleeping, when you get to go to the bathroom type of deal. And on top of all that, worrying for your life in a prison, um, with threats of violence on you and whatnot, depending on the situation that you're in, and the hierarchy of the prison mates and all that. Um, I could not imagine spending a vast amount of your life in that situation, then coming out of that and starting over, starting in a job where, let's be honest, your name has been tainted. You know, it is so difficult to start over from that. And they were completely innocent. To think that not only do we do that, but on top of that, threaten to put people to death that might be in that same situation. That's what worries me. And until we address the massive gaps in our justice system, which I think education would solve a lot of it, and teaching people how to think critically and apply critical thinking skills in a courtroom setting, and having massive justice reforms and whatnot, and taking away of mandatory minimums, and trying to root out the police impropriety, should I say? Um, you know, Putting those things in line first before we just go starting to kill people, I think is a step that we need to take first. Address the justice system, address the police issue, address the laws of mandatory minimums, and if somebody says that they're innocent, they should be able to prove their case. Um, it should not be on an innocence project to take up the case. They should be able to attempt to get all of the documents that they need, or to. And I'm not a lawyer, so I can't really speak eloquently to the justice system entirely. But they should be able to have a defense counsel that is worth a damn, for one. We should be paying the defense counsel more, because that is a right that an individual has. The defense counsel shouldn't be getting the case file 20 minutes before they enter a courtroom, that type of issue. I take a lot of issue with that. If I'm in front of a judge and I have a public defender, they should not just be getting my case before they walk in the door. So, yeah, I have issues with a lot of the things in our justice system, and yes, where do we get the money? Well, there are certain things that certain things the United States purchases for defense that doesn't have anything to do with defense. and we should be addressing that. I mean, there's definitely money that can be switched around because of allocating it to the allocating it improperly. Um, so yeah, I think that is something that we need to address. A budget issue, a justice issue, a police issue, stuff like that. But anyway, I digress. That's my answer basically to is it okay to kill someone who committed murder? What's your answer to that? Um, yeah, it's complicated, and I think there's a lot of things that we need to do first before we go just sticking needles in arms, lethal injection style. So yeah, and if you're taking the law into your own hands, don't. Um, you know, ha- taking the law into your own hands does not help anything. Whenever you kill somebody for committing murder, you've just made another murderer. You have not taken down the amount of murderers out there. So, yeah, that's my answer to the incredibly difficult question. Let me know your take in the comment section down below. And until next time, may you have love, hugs, and ladybugs. Bye.